Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to April 2024's Sales Market Update. It is today, the 18th of April, 2024, and I'm joined this afternoon by my colleague Roberto Argenio in our lovely Victoria Street office here in the heart of St Albans on a sunny day. Rob, let's get straight into it. And just to start off with Easter, it was 2 weeks ago. Well, it was less than 2 weeks ago, but it lasted for 2 weeks. It was a mixed bag, wasn't it? Kids were off. It was averagely busy. It's the first time I think in the last few years that generally we've seen quite a lot of people go away. What was your thoughts, however?
Yeah, I think the Easter break was quite long and certainly felt a little bit quieter than the weeks before it, and certainly the months before that. I think St Albans has always enjoyed the last of the ski and the first of the Mediterranean sun. I think taking into account the last few years and pandemics and whatnot and lockdowns, doesn't surprise me at all that this year we saw a bigger uplift in people travelling away, which clearly did affect the activity in the marketplace. However, still quite strong, and certainly now the kids are back to school, everything seems to be settling back into some sort of pace now.
Yeah, I think you're very right about that. I think people enjoy the last of the snow and the start of the sun, and and they definitely have this year. However, I think it remains steady, but we've seen in the last week, since the kids have gone fully back, we've seen a really, really good increase in valuation numbers so far this week. In fact, so much so, Rob, they've dragged me back out onto the road and shoved me in the car to go out and value homes.
Yep,
Um,
you're joining the party now.
but what kind of valuation numbers have we seen over the last week or so, Rob? Have you been busy?
It's really ramped up. I think this is a typical time of the year now, particularly with it's been a really long winter, I think, for most people, and with some of this nice sunshine we're seeing, I think people are actually getting out, getting the lawns cut, and things are coming into blossom now. So it's typically a time of the year where you would see quite a large variety of property coming to market, not just your smaller first-time buyer 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, but certainly your larger 4 5 bedroom detached houses. And there's been a really good mix. But the one thing really that I think stands out during the month of April is how the valuation numbers have increased. Despite we've had the Easter break, despite we've had people away, the figures month to month point from March are significantly higher, and there's plenty of valuations forward booked as well.
Yeah, a very, very busy diary over the rest of April and the start of May even, which is great to see. One of the things that lots of local agents, ourselves included, sometimes try to swerve a little bit is what's actually going on with house prices, Rob. And I wanted to put that question to you. I've got my opinion, but I'm really, really keen to hear yours.
I think in general terms, I know it can be a bit of a poison chalice, but realistically, the information is out there. We can clearly all see what the market's doing and what our competitors are doing, as well as ourselves. And I think, firstly, there is a good demand, and that I think is a really good, solid foundation for any housing market, any time of the year. But I think broadly speaking, prices have really held their own. We've had several reports this year of house prices nudging their way forward, but nothing really significant. So I think the good news is that at the moment the status quo remains. House prices have steadied. There may be some small increases as the quarters roll on, but I think people are quite used to where we are in the current marketplace. But certainly no massive reductions that we saw more of in 2023.
Yeah, I think I echo that a bit, Rob. I think it depends also which news channel you subscribe to and which
Very
bank
true.
you lend from. So I think that sort of steady, bit price sensitive, but the right house at the right price is selling and selling well.
Absolutely.
Saying that about the house and the price and what's selling well, what is selling well, Rob? What kind of housing stock's selling well?
I think there's a nice demand across the board. Certainly the middle parts of the market and lower ends of the market seem to be very, very buoyant. I think the one thing that really resonates with me this year is the uplift in activity in 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. There really is quite a growing demand for that now, and certainly the last half a dozen or so that we have listed for our clients, we've been able to deliver really good quality buyers quite quickly as well, and at really good prices, in some cases over asking.
Yeah, I think that's has been interesting, right? Is the return to the marketplace, strong marketplace of 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. We go back 12 months and we had a queue of quite disappointed vendors willing to give their keys back. But now we've seen a bit of competition come
Yeah.
into the 1 and 2 bedroom market, which is great for them, and it's really what we should see. Can't always be tied up in legal wrangles. Rob, I'm going to finish this now. But what is our outlook for May? Spring's going to be sprung, summer's going to start, the birds are going to sing, the trees are going to be green. What does it look like?
I think, like the weather behind me, yeah, the outlook looks sunny.
Hey.
It's spring has sprung, as they say, and I think the market activity is pretty good. But people are still cautious, and mortgage markets, have settled. But I think generally the 2024 housing market for me looks pretty solid. I think people have got used to the new norm, and it's almost business as usual.
Yeah. Great. Look, Rob, I really, really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for joining us on this market update of the 18th of the 4th, April 2024. Please join us again in May for another puntastic podcast, hopefully with myself and Rob. We really do look forward to seeing you then. And thank you very much for your time.
Thanks a lot, guys.